The filming process. The filming of Pirates of the Caribbean was supposed to start in June 2002, but it was postponed until October. Michael Eisner, the Walt Disney Company CEO at the time, reportedly tried scrapping the production as he didn't believe in the success of the project and wasn't happy with the decision to cast Johnny Depp for the main role. But Gore Verbinski didn't stop the work, and when Eisner saw the concept art, he was so impressed that he changed his mind. Another setback was the fire that started on set. Luckily, no one got hurt, but the damage was assessed at $350,000. By the way, initially, they planned to film the movie in the giant pool that was used to film Titanic and Pearl Harbor, but the creators of the historical adventure movie Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World happened to be quicker and had already booked the set. In the meantime, Johnny Depp was working on how he would bring his character to life. The image of Jack Sparrow was inspired by the music video to the song Stand and Deliver by Adam and the Ants, where the frontman appears as a surrealistic interpretation of Dick Turpin, an English highwayman. While doing his research on pirates, Depp came to the conclusion that you could call them rock stars of their time, so he copied the mannerisms of his friend Keith Richards. The idiosyncrasies made quite an impression on the Disney execs during the first table read. After that, Michael Eisner started thinking that Johnny was trying to ruin the movie by making his character look either gay or drunk.
So that's it then. That's the secret grand adventure of the infamous Jack Sparrow.
To make his character even more memorable, Depp got gold teeth installed. However, he went a bit overboard and the producer Jerry Bruckheimer asked him to keep only a couple of teeth with golden shine. Costume designers chose costumes for Captain Sparrow that would cover the countless tattoos of the actor. As for the tattoo on his arm, it was actually painted, but he got it for real after the movie premiere and dedicated it to his son Jack. Fun fact, the bold eyeliner became a part of Jack Sparrow's look by accident. Makeup artists applied a lot of product while filming cave scenes to achieve a better image on camera, but it looked so good on Johnny that they decided to keep using it. Orlando Bloom also wanted to make his character look cooler and mimicked Jack Sparrow, but Gore Verbinski always humbled him. "You're still a dork," the director would say to him, as Will Turner wasn't supposed to be cool.
On my word, do as I say, or I'll pull this trigger and be lost to Davy Jones' locker.
Still, there is one scene where Bloom parodies Sparrow that made it to the movie. By the way, the skills Orlando developed on the set of The Lord of the Rings came in handy because he learned how to fence. According to the plot of The Pirates, Will is the best with swords out of all the characters in the movie.
I practice 3 hours a day so that when I meet a pirate, I can kill it.
The screenwriters named Barbossa the second best fencer. Jeffrey Rush was so dedicated to learning and perfecting fight choreography that he tired out the whole stunt crew. As for Jack Sparrow, he doesn't have remarkable fencing skills, but Johnny Depp still came up with his signature style. The actor used Muhammad Ali's method, keeping the arms down and letting the opponent come closer. The character uses this tactic most of the time, applying minimum effort to achieve maximum results. Filming scenes on the water often goes off schedule due to unforeseen circumstances. Pirates of the Caribbean was no exception, although the crew spent only 6 days in the sea. Still, a lot of actors and crew workers suffered from seasickness. Trying to avoid getting sick, Keira Knightley took a motion sickness pill, but it made her fall asleep in the middle of a shooting day. By the way, since Keira was pretty young, her mom had to accompany her on set. One night, they got stuck in the middle of the sea. They were coming back after filming on one of the Caribbean islands, and their boat hit a reef. Curiously, locals had warned the film crew about the reefs, but the Marines who worked on set said they had GPS, so they knew where every single reef in the area was. Gore Verbinski regretted not listening to the locals, who knew better than going boating at night. Keira, her mom, and the skipper were recovered within several hours, but ever since then, they had all-night shootings in the studio instead of on location. Filming in water didn't make work easier for the costume designer either. Johnny Depp, for instance, kept losing his hat. After 10 leather head pieces sank, they decided to start making them out of rubber so they would stay afloat. By the way, one of the most iconic costumes, the dresses that Pintel and Righetti wore at the end of the movie, could never appear on screen. The producer, Jerry Bruckheimer, had some second thoughts about the scene and told Penny Rose, the costume designer, not to make them, but she still worked on them and gave them to the director. The makeup artist also had a lot of work, so Kevin McNally, who played Gibbs, grew out his own hair and beard to save time spent on makeup. Keira Knightley, on the other hand, had to wear a wig because her hair hadn't grown long enough after her previous projects. She also wore colored contacts, but only in the final scene of the movie. They made Keira dizzy, so she threw them away right after the wrap.
I can't breathe.
Johnny Depp wore sun-blocking contacts almost all the time so he wouldn't squint in the sun. To keep up with the shooting schedule, the crew had to work 24/7. Gore Verbinski believed it was conducive to creating an intimate atmosphere on set. Apart from that, there was room for improvisation. The director even introduced such methods as visual effect improvisation and stunt improvisation on set. Sometimes the actors would practice one stunt and then switch it while filming. You can see it in the scene when Sparrow jumps out of the water and lands on the deck of his ship. A lot of Jack Sparrow's lines that caught on were also improvised. For instance, his famous
"Savvy."
and the running gig about eunuchs.
No one, he's no one. A distant cousin of my aunt's nephew, twice removed. Lovely singing voice, though. Eunuch.
One of the last lines of Captain Sparrow
Bring me that horizon.
was also invented by Johnny Depp the morning they shot the scene. Fun fact, the British metal band called Bring Me the Horizon used this phrase as an inspiration. Even the animals improvised on camera. The smile that Jack the monkey gave Barbossa after he thanked it for retrieving the Aztec coin was an accident. By the way, the actor Geoffrey Rush tried to keep the left side of the frame. He had a theory that people look at the screen from left to right, and it was the only way he could make the viewers notice him while being in the same frame with the charming Keira Knightley and the charismatic monkey. The filming crew finished in March 2003, after which the crew literally looted the props from the treasure cave. Verbinski shared that there were no coins left, and Johnny Depp confessed that he and his daughter took a lot of treasures from the set. But it wasn't all butterflies and rainbows for the cast. Zoe Saldana, who played a pirate and Sparrow's ex-girlfriend, didn't enjoy working on the movie because of the hierarchical approach on set. She didn't like that the extras were not treated the same way as the main cast, and the producers kept on rushing the process. It was the first big Hollywood project for the actress, and she almost left the industry after it. Many years later, the producer, Jerry Bruckheimer, personally apologized to her for making her experience so negative, which Zoe thought was very sweet of him. Keira also had her worries because the movie creators were obsessed with her cup size. The makeup artist spent 45 minutes every day to make her breasts appear bigger, and the actress had to wear push-up bras under her dress. On the artwork, the movie designers photoshopped her to make the size bigger. Right after they finished filming, Knightley gracefully laughed it off, saying that she didn't even have to get surgery, but when working on her next projects, she made it clear to the movie execs that they couldn't introduce any digital changes to her body. At the post-production stage, the director, Gore Verbinski, would often spend 18 hours in the editing room to finish the work by the premiere date. By the way, because of the rush, a lot of background shots and some of the ships were created using CGI instead of filming in real life. This is when they also used 5 consecutive shots to make the opening scene of the movie when the ship appears from the fog. The scene was done 2 days before the premiere. It's curious that the designers scanned turkey jerky to create the texture of decomposing skin when the pirates transformed into living skeletons. To preserve the individuality of the skeletons, the movie creators kept the actors' eyes. Another fun fact is that Verbinski made some references to other movies. For instance, the scene where Jack Sparrow stands on the mast of the sinking boat is an homage to 1924 Buster Keaton's movie The Navigator. The scene when Will and Jack are walking underwater beneath the rowing boat is a reference to the 1952 movie The Crimson Pirate. When you know about it, you can see why the movie creators ignored the physics laws in this scene. They also added a lot of allusions to Disneyland. One of them is the song Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, written specifically for the ride in 1967, and the woman in the red dress that slaps Jack on the island of Tortuga is a character from the Disneyland ride. The prison scene when the inmates try to call the dog that has the keys to the cell is also a reference to the ride. In the movie, Sparrow says,
"You can keep doing that forever, the dog is never going to move."
as the dog actually doesn't move in the ride. By the way, later on, Jack tries to bribe the dog with a bone, just like a robot pirate in the ride. Some moments before that, the smoke from a cannon shot takes the shape of Mickey Mouse's head in the night sky. There are some more intricate Easter eggs in the movie. For instance, the apple that Barbossa is looking forward to eating after the spell is lifted is a Granny Smith apple. This variety originated in Australia, where Geoffrey Rush was born, though it happened only in 1868, 150 years after the events depicted in the movie.